And so over the course of my life, um, I learned that a lot of people, you know, a lot of us were really angry. A lot of young people that might have turned to the streets, or that might have just did just a lot of negative shit in their life. You know what I mean? A lot of young people in general. A lot of us aren't. A lot of us were not bad kids. A lot of us were just angry. We had, some of us might have had mommy issues. Some of us might have had daddy issues. Some of us might have had, this is just the environment issues. And some of us have legit, some of us had legit mental health issues, right? Most people aren't specifically created into monsters, right? They're not created into your little boosies and your NBA young boys and all that. Like a lot of people, and that's not to say a person is not an authentic person or whatever. Your path is your path, but and I'm not here to shed light on negativity. I'm here to shed light on lessons. You know what I mean? Just in life. You know what I mean? I do want y'all to be able to hear a story and see the lesson I learned from it, as opposed to just trying to be entertained by a story. But I know how YouTube works. I know how it goes. I'm not watching nothing unless I'm entertained by it. Anyway, so I got a story for y'all today, and it's basically over. Like I said, over time, I'm doing the work. I said that before. This story basically, I remembered it. I remember it every so often, and I go, damn. Every so often, I remember this story. But it took a while for me to understand the lesson that I got from it and what I learned. Um, so I'm gonna break it down. What I learned from this lesson, what I learned from this was, and I'm gonna just tell you the story in a second. But what I learned from it was, um, I was angry as a kid. I was angry for a lot of different reasons, but and this is why I did a lot of the stuff that I did. Like I said, everybody has a reason. You know what I'm saying? Some of the reasons I don't agree with. Like I don't think I had great reasons, but I'm just telling you my reason, right? When you look back when you're older, right? This is what everybody does. If you live long enough, you'll do the same shit. But so yeah, like I was angry about being in a place that being in a place or a world at that point in time. That's how I looked at the world, right? Being in a place that hardens you, that makes you feel that as a black man, you have to be ready for all these things. You have to be into all these things. You gotta, this is what is expected of you, and you need to, um, because if anybody sees any weakness in you, it's like a wolf that smells blood, right? Or a hungry wolf that sees a deer that has a limp, right? Like that wolf will be on that deer for sure. And it was very difficult to escape it, which is why I always tell people, commend people for being themselves and being different. Commend them for that, because it's a lot easier to do what everybody around you is doing. It's a lot easier to fall victim to, you had people that had, things happen to them and they said, nah, that'll never happen again, right? I've seen things and I told myself, I've had things happen to me and I told myself, this will never happen, or this will never happen again, right? Here's the story. Um, so this is a story about my my first robbery, I would say, right? So at um, this point in time, we were doing one of two things. At this point in time, we were doing what's called knockout missions, right? Which is purely, which is purely, um, you're going, you're either walking or you're driving around or you're taking the bus or whatever, and you're going around and you're literally assaulting people. I would say, I'm gonna be honest with you, out of everything that I've done, to me, assaulting people, random people, is the worst shit I've ever had, in my opinion. You should be able to wake up as a person, go to work, come home to your kids, right? If you're not, you know what I'm saying? Now, granted, we were looking for people that looked like they were into whatever lifestyle we were into. That's okay, but you still don't know. You still don't know. So knockout missions. So like I said, these were us, you were assaulting people, right? In efforts to earn stripes to show that you had, your physical, you had fighting capabilities, right? So this is what was happening at that time. We were young, we were kids, middle school, high school. So another thing that we would do, depending on, when you're angry, you're doing whatever you can to other people. Um, Another thing that we would do is we would ride around and strip people, right? Take whatever they had, right? And that's what divvy it up in the end, and that's what it was. So I remember one night, it was a dry night, man. It wasn't nothing much to do, um, which is another reason why this probably happened. But it was a dry night, wasn't too much to do. My buddy had a real nice, he had like a real nice sports car. He had really nice exhaust on it. He had a really nice sound system in it. So usually, you know, with that, usually, you would, I would usually try to burn a CD, or if I can get the computer to do whatever I needed to do, I could try to get it to burn a CD or something like that. Or easiest thing, at school, we had a music guy. Like he would like he found a way to steal music online or whatever. So so he would just down. You had your 50 cents. You had whoever was out at the time, and I would have him find like rare shit or find whatever. Like at this point in time, I think everybody. Well, I was off Lil Boosie. I was off Webby. I'm not sure if Webby and Lil Boosie were known in California like that yet, but I would have this dude just download popular shit in different places. So whatever. So he downloaded a couple CDs or whatever. I remember the guy's car we were in. I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that, because not because somebody gonna go to jail for it, but just I don't know. I think the shit is tacky. So a lot of the times I'm not. Some of the times you might hear me say it sometimes, but uh, if if I don't think if I think it's something that somebody close to me will hear and pick up and know who I'm talking about, then I'm not gonna say the name. That's just you know what I mean. That's just me. So we pop a CD in. Picture this: we pop a CD in. We're probably about 5 deep. Because we sat the middle seat in the back too. We were probably 5 deep, right? Two door, so you got to push the seat forward, passenger seat forward to hop out. You know, you getting out the passenger side. The getaway driver is always in the driver's seat, right? So y'all got to get out the passenger seat. You guys know if you ever had a situation where you bounced out on people in a two-door coupe. but yeah though, so whatever. We driving around, probably playing. I think them Franchise Boys is out at that time, probably playing that Franchise Boy album or something like that. And we're bored, right? I think we might have just smoked, and we just riding around, and we saw a couple of people, but nobody looked like they had anything or whatever. Nobody looked like, you wasn't getting the feeling or nothing like that, especially on the main street, right? So where we were, you had a two-way street, train tracks, then a two-way street again. So if you cross over the train tracks, the area looks different when you cross over the train tracks. It looks like it's different. I don't know why they did it that way, how they built it that way or whatever, but that's how it looks. They just look different when you cross the street, when you cross over the train tracks. So cross over the train tracks this time. For some reason, we never did that in that particular area. We never really did that. I don't even think, and not on purpose, or we never really did it. So this time we did. So we drive over there or whatever. We just drive. We turn the music is down at this time. We just drive. We're weaving through streets. And you know how we usually I usually do it at this point in time. Um, if you see somebody at this point in time, because it's super dark, it's nighttime. It's for sure nighttime, right? It's bounce out time. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like 11, like 10, 11. It's like bounce out time. So, so anyway, yeah, man. So we're driving around. We see, I think it was me that seen these two, but there's two people standing on a lawn talking to each other. Two Caucasian kids. You know what I'm saying? Seemingly, I think there were two white kids, right? And they just talking. They're about our age, high school age. And like I said, they just chopping it up, whatever. And something told me, hey, and it wasn't even initially to strip them. You know that as I thought about it over time, and that's where this lesson comes in. When I saw them, the first thing to do wasn't necessarily to strip them, right? It was, I felt like, why do you think, how is it okay for you to be outside and just be talking, having a good conversation on the lawn when I have to make sure that somebody doesn't hop out on me and rob me, or hop out and do the same thing I do to people to me, right? Or, you know what I'm saying? And all these things came to my mind. If they could do that, then they probably live like this at school, and they could probably do this, and you know what I'm saying? And all that, it just they were the like they were the spitting image of a person that the person that I couldn't be, if you get what I'm saying. Like I couldn't be these people. Not like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with color. It's the fact that they felt safe. That, you know what I'm saying? There's been many times where I'm like, damn, I don't want to walk down this main street. Just on the other side, just down the road, there's a street where my house was closer to. And I remember thinking, like, man, I do not want to drive, because I have many times where I'm walking and I have a car. Like, you would have to be, if you're walking late at night back then, when first of all, you walk against traffic, right? That was a smart thing to do. You walk against traffic. Pay attention, like, if you live somewhere where people can bounce out on you or something like that, you walk against traffic, right? This is no cap, bro. You walk against traffic. Because if somebody drives past you, a lot of times they'll be driving past you, right? Going whatever direction they're going. And because you're walking against traffic. And they decide, you know what, I want to, maybe I want to rob this person, or I want to attack this person. This is what was going on back then. We were not the only ones doing knockout missions. We were not the only ones hopping out stripping people. We were not the only ones doing that. This was a style at that time. This was a thing you did, right? So if you're walking against traffic and they'll drive past you and be like, you know what, I want to strip that person. They would have to literally make a U-turn, come down the opposite part of the street, and then bust another one and come get on you. By that time, if you're on everything, if you're on your P's and Q's, you know what I'm saying? Then you could get on. You could run. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that if you're on your P's and Q's. So if you take a lesson from me. If you live somewhere where that happens, walk against traffic. Walk against traffic. That's just what we did. So, walking against traffic. That's ever since I don't even remember not walking against traffic. Walk against traffic. If it's a busy street or something like that, it's crazy busy, you got traffic all up and down the street, you might be able to get away with walking with traffic. But walk against it on your main neighborhood streets. Your main residential is the term I'm looking for. So we hop out of the car. Um, we pull up. We come up. They're on a corner. We drive past them. We drive into the other neighborhood to do the U-turn because we didn't want them to know we was getting on them. And we did not drive slow past them or nothing like that. We drove. I profiled them because we in tinted windows. I profiled them as we were driving through. Go up the street, bust a U-turn, come down, come through the neighborhood, pull up on them. They didn't even see us pull up because he didn't hit the gas for a minute. We slid up on them. No brake squeals, none of that. We slid up on them, right? So we hop out. I'm like, what's up? Y'all just out here chilling, whatever. Y'all just out here just whatever. They didn't say nothing. So I started yelling at them, right? Y'all just and again, this is not how it looks when you're robbing somebody. You get what I'm saying? This is somebody who's angry. This is somebody that's just mad. You know what I mean? Mad and young. Stupid. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, that's most teachers in some way, or most teenagers in some way, shape, or form. Mad and like mad and young and stupid. A mixture of mad and stupid is even stupider. Hop out, like I said, I'm yelling at them. You know what I mean? I'm posturing at them, letting them know that at this point in time, they probably don't even think they get robbed or get stripped. They probably think they get their ass whipped, right? Like, I mean, that's what they probably thinking. Well, I wasn't the kind of guy, and I didn't know too many guys that were you know what I'm saying, that would want to beat up somebody that, I mean, they didn't look capable of, you know what I mean, of defending themselves against one of us. So it wasn't nothing like that. But I took, I grabbed a CD player out the hand. I took the earphones or the headphones off his head and all that. Ran through he had a hoodie that both had hoodies on. Ran through their hoodie pockets. Ran jean pockets. All that. Ran through all that, right? And just a lot of yelling, bro. A lot of yelling. And just trying to make sure that they don't do that again. Don't be outside enjoying yourself. Being positive, being regular, right? Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. I didn't like it, evidently, right? Who the fuck was I? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to decide on any of that, right? But that's what I thought that's what I thought life was about at the time, right? Took everything. I think one of them was telling, we just live across the street. And the crazy thing, I just live across the street. I just live right. I turned around, right, and I looked across the street. They weren't talking about this particular house, but about across the street, 2 houses down, was the home of a family that used to babysit me when I was a child. Like, I would say probably first or second grade. You know what I mean? And yeah, they would babysit me, and I knew me and their kids were different, right? But they would babysit me, and after that, like, I remember on the way home, I was just thinking, like, I wonder where they at, who they are now. You know what I'm saying? I know they're not riding around doing this. You know, I wonder who they are. It was a thought that I had. You first thing that came to my mind was I went from that, and who would have known I would have been in their house playing with their toys, and they used to take us to school in a gray Astro van. I think the mother's name was Dawn, right? And they used to let you know kind of how that family was. And she would take us, she would take, her kids and me to either school or something. You know what I'm saying? But but I would go there in the summertime for summer care or whatever, right? And that's how that went, man. And it dawned on me, and that, no pun intended, it dawned on me that I guarantee you they're not doing what you're doing right now. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Different people around you, different scenarios, different cards. And like I said, it was just nothing but a reminder that let me know, like, hey, you you're like this because people made you like this. People didn't let you be. They didn't let you just be a regular person. They needed you to be tough, right? They needed you to be tough, so they tormented you, right? They needed you to act a certain way, so they tormented you to the point where you felt like to survive around wolves, you had to eat meat too. You had to eat meat too. Like you had to get off, right? You had to do what you had to do. So, fast forward, now look at you. Now you can't get your mind back to what it could be, what it's originally supposed to be. Your family wants you to be a particular way, right? And you have outside influences that turn you, right? You can't walk down the street. Somebody might hop out and rob you. You can't just go play basketball because the members come and play basketball. When they come play basketball, they want to fight. They bring guns. You can't just go to a party. They get shot up. They get shot up. You know what I mean? You can't just have friends, right? Friends speak on you. Friends speak on you. You find out their girlfriend like you. They want to fight. They want to bring a blammer, right? It's just how it goes, man. This isn't something that they had to deal with. Somebody wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and now all of a sudden, a motherfucker want to fight. So now you at school squabbling because somebody had a bad morning. 14 years old. But anyway, man, that's how life is, man. It's whatever. But yeah, like I said, man, that's how people can make you different. People can change you. People can people can make you different. People can change you. You're not old like you want to be that innocent kid or whatever, but you can't always be that. Anyway, that's the end of that story, man. But what I learned from this was I was actually just angry. I was actually just an angry kid because I knew when I looked at those people that they didn't have to deal with what I had to deal with, right? It wasn't something that they had to worry about. So, and I could just feel it. I didn't want to have to deal with what I had to deal with. Neither did anybody in the car, you know. But it was what it was. That was a reality. So I just wanted to come to y'all with that story. Yeah, nobody was harmed in this story. Just so y'all know, it was stripped, but but they weren't harmed. But I just wanted to come to y'all with that story or whatever. Y'all drop a comment in the video description. There'll be some additional information, but there'll be a link to where you can support me in a way you can support me, which is hitting the link down there. It'll take you straight to Amazon. It's an affiliate link. With an affiliate link, I make a portion of the money that Amazon would make. Amazon pays me back a portion of the money they make. The price of the item you buy does not go up or go down based off of that. So it doesn't do anything differently for you. But show that you're a good person, But no, but yeah, if you hit that, you support the channel or whatever. Basically, the link takes you to Amazon. Whatever you buy, it's an affiliate link. Whatever you buy, I get a cut of what Amazon makes. So if you guys got a big ass shopping cart in there with hella stuff in there, thousands of dollars, hit that link first, and then go buy what you gotta go buy. But anyway, I'm gonna holler at you, man. I'll come down with another story soon.